Hello, this is Baby Ramana, teacher in English. In this video, I would like to share with you the topic how to join the sentences using whose. Join the sentences with whose. First, let us start with some basic questions. What is whose used for? Whose is used for possessives like my, our, your, their, his, her, its, Rama's, Krishna's, Robert's. Like this, if you find these words are to be removed, and in that place we have to write whose. And second basic question, how is it used? It is used with a noun after it, like whose pen, whose books, whose bag, whose answer, etc. Sometimes a preposition may appear before it, like with whose support. Let us see. What are the rules? What are the steps by which we can easily join the sentences using who, whose? First one, find the identical phrases or words in both the sentences. And after one identical phrases, put arrow mark. And next, other identical noun phrase or word if it is my, our, your, their, his, her, its, Rama's, Krishna's, etc. We have to remove these words, and in that place we have to write whose. And next one, bring whose or whose plus noun. That means the noun always comes after whose in joining these sentences. So whose plus noun structure is to be brought to the front of the sentence. And next, place the entire sentence beginning with whose plus noun at the arrow mark. These are the some of the steps. If you follow these steps, we can easily join the sentences. Let us see with these examples. I saw the doctor. His bag was stolen. Here, first we have to identify the identical phrases. Here, identical phrases are doctor and his. So first you have to underline them, and before one, after one identical noun phrase that is doctor, we have to put arrow mark, and other identical phrase that is his is to be rounded off. And in that place we have to write whose, because whose is used for my, our, your, their, his, her, its, like that. So his is removed, and in that place we have written whose. And next step, whose plus noun is to be brought to the front of this sentence. Already whose plus whose is there at the beginning of this sentence, so we need not do the step. And then the sentence beginning with whose should be taken to the place where arrow mark is kept. So here arrow mark is kept, so this entire sentence is to be kept at the arrow mark. Then we get the answer, I saw the doctor whose bag was stolen. And next one, second example, the person is very good. It is his book. Here, the identical phrases are the person and his. Here, we have to put an arrow mark immediately after the one identical phrase that is person. And other identical phrase, his is there. For his, we have to write whose, and his is to be removed. And next step, whose plus noun is to be brought to the front of the sentence. So whose book is brought to the front of the sentence. And next, the entire sentence, this entire sentence is to be brought at the to the place where arrow mark is kept. So the sentence whose book it is to be kept here. So the right answer will be the person whose book it is kept, whose book it is very good. Next example, The building is very new. Its doors are beautiful. Now, first we have to do the first thing, the identical phrases. The building, its. And now we have to put narrow mark immediately after one identical phrase, that is building, and another identical phrase, its, is there. So its is to be removed. In that place we have to write whose. And next step, and we have to bring that whose plus noun to the front of this sentence. Already whose is there at the front of this sentence, so we need not take that step. So now the entire sentence is to be brought to the place where arrow mark is kept. So here we have to write like this: the building whose doors are beautiful is very new. And next example, Ramu is standing there. I like his ideas. So here the identical phrases are Ramu and his. We have to underline them, and one arrow mark is to be kept immediately after one identical noun phrase, identical phrase, and this phrase his is to be removed. There we have to write whose, because for his, my, our, your, like that possessives we use whose. So his is removed, and in that place whose is to be written. And this whose plus this noun is to be brought to the front of the sentence. And his ideas has been removed, and whose plus ideas were written here. And after that the entire sentence is to be taken to the place where the arrow mark is kept. So the answer will be Ramu, whose ideas I like, is standing there, will be the right answer. And next one, this is Chiranjeevi, I like his acting most. Here identical phrases are Chiranjeevi and his. So immediately after Chiranjeevi we have to keep an arrow mark, and another identical word or phrase, that is his, is to be removed, and in that place we have to write whose. And after that, whose plus noun is to be brought to the front of the sentence. So whose acting will come here, and then the entire sentence is to be kept at the place where arrow mark is there. And with that, by doing so we get the answer: this is Chiranjeevi, whose acting I like most. And sixth example, Madhu was a teacher. I passed the test with his support. The first one is that we have to identify the identical phrases. Madhu and his are the identical phrases. And now we have to keep an arrow mark immediately after one of the identical phrases, that is Madhu, and another identical phrase his is to be removed, and there we have to write whose. And now this whose plus noun is to be kept at the front of the sentence. So we have written here whose supports. One more thing is that if before whose, if a preposition is there, the preposition can also be brought to the front. So with whose support is written here. And by writing entire sentence is to be at the place where arrow mark is kept, we get the required answer. So Madhu, with whose support I passed the test, was a teacher, will be the right answer. And next one, yesterday I met Sridevi, her books were bought here. Here first one, the identical phrases Sridevi and her are underlined, and we have to write an arrow mark immediately after one of the identical phrase, that is Sridevi, and her is to be removed. There we have to write whose. And next step, the whose plus noun is to be brought at the front of this sentence. Already whose with noun is there at the front of this sentence. And now the entire sentence is to be kept at the place where arrow mark is there. So by doing so we get the answer: yesterday I met Sridevi, whose books were bought there. And next example, the dictionary is very new. I don't know its price. Now, first you have to identify the identical phrases, dictionary and its. And next we have to put arrow mark immediately after the one of the identical phrases, that is dictionary. And then another and other identical phrase its is to be removed. There we have to write whose. And now whose plus noun is to be kept at the front of the sentence. So whose price I don't know will be the sentence. And now this entire sentence is to be kept at the place where arrow mark is there. So by doing so, we get the answer. The dictionary whose price I don't know is very new will be the right answer. Friends, in this way, we can join the sentences using whose. Well friends, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel by tapping subscribe button on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.